This is Dan Contreras back again with the Dr. Dan Show here at the Oxnard Heritage Media Center. Also, a lot of good artwork here, just by the way. I have my guest, Mr. Rex Hernandez, and he's no stranger to me because I've known him, oh my God, 40 years?
At
maybe?
least 40 years.
Maybe.
Right.
We have a common friend, Mondo Ortiz, Mondo Pina.
In fact, it is 41 years.
41 years.
I can remember that before I got married. I've been married 40 years now.
And one thing that stands out for Rex, I know he's proud of
Refugio.
pronounces right correctly,
Refugio,
is that he is a Vietnam veteran back in the day, as I am too. But Rex was there back in what year?
1969 through 73.
73. Because we are going to be speaking about some veteran issues, particularly for the Vietnam veterans, and in general, all veterans, that
That's
some
right.
benefits and services. And most particular is the idea that we should have a military cemetery for the veterans here in Ventura County.
Mm-hmm.
We have how many veterans?
Well,
Vietnam
in
veterans?
Ventura, well, total Vietnam veterans still surviving is at least 70,000. No, more. I'm sorry.
More like
That served were in Vietnam were 2,500,000 something, but here in Ventura County we have 70,000 veterans, not Vietnam veterans, just total overall, and we have 34,000
that
Santa
are living
Barbara.
that
They're
are living
living.
in Ventura County.
And so we have no space. You know, where are we going to bury all these people when we die? I mean, I know most veterans are being buried in regular cemeteries.
The regular cemetery. But if they wanted a military thing, they would have to go to Riverside.
Either Riverside, and the other one is Bakersfield.
Which is
the
there
LA,
are a couple others, but those are the closest.
the
right?
closest to us. All the others are up north.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't.
Before we really get into this, we will get into it, but just a little, people get to know who you are.
Okay.
You're Tejano, right?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm
Oh
from
my
San
God,
Antonio,
proud.
Texas.
Get down, brother.
San Antonio, Texas.
San
Born
Antonio.
and raised.
San Antonio, I love that.
Yes,
I love
sir.
that.
And I also played Tejano music.
Right.
Yeah, my brother's one of the most famous DJs in Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, he is a living legend, a recipient. Yeah.
Right. So you guys, your family, or you personally by yourself came to California?
I came to California because of the war. When I went to Vietnam, I served here in boot camp training in San Diego. So
Oh, you were in Navy then?
in the Navy, yes, sir. And from there, of course, I went to Vietnam. I did 4 Westpac tours. That means cruises, and I was a gunner's mate. And so we did shore bombardments off the coast of Vietnam.
Interesting. No Purple Hearts? You didn't
No
get hurt?
Purple Hearts,
You're
no
not-
injuries. I am proud to be alive. I do have to deal with
grateful,
survivors'
maybe
guilt.
grateful to be alive.
Yes, sir, I am. I wake up every morning and I say, "What a beautiful day."
Yes.
But I did experience like 3 incidents, you know, that I could have been involved in, but I was lucky,
Right.
and I'm here, so that's why I'm happy.
Yeah, you wonder that it's the roll of the dice.
It is.
Sometimes.
It is, Danny. I did go to the Veterans Hospitals in Los Angeles when I first registered, you know, in my VA. And that's when I really realized, for a while I was dealing with survivor's guilt. But when I went there and I saw all these veterans without no legs, no arms,
Yeah.
one guy's going down the hallway, wheeling away with that one arm, and he was smiling.
It was
And I asked the counselor there, I said, "Why is he smiling? He's got no legs and
Yeah.
left arm missing." He said, "Well, he's happy he's got that right arm."
The
So
one.
since then, you know, I
Change your attitude.
man, I don't care what hurts, you know.
Yeah, that's great. You were inspired,
Yes, sir.
which is a great feeling, or to be so you can better yourself
Yeah, of course.
with
of
whatever
course.
you have, whatever we have, anyone, right?
Right.
A little more on your personal. You after Vietnam, you decided to stay
I
here.
met my wife there, and she's from Tijuana,
Uh-huh.
and I stayed. You know, I came out of the Navy in '73. I stayed 1 year. I moved here to Oxnard, and she was still living there because her mother lived there, and she came down. And then a year later, we got married.
Okay.
And that's when I met you. Before I got married, I met you and Armando Pina and the rest of your car club
Oxnard,
members.
yeah, La Gente Car Club. Back
There
in
you go.
You met some Oxnard people,
Right.
down deep. But one other particular thing about you is your music. You are a musician yourself.
Yes, sir.
Which you've used, or
I did play.
utilized.
I did play in about 3 different groups in Texas. One was a Tejano group. It was called the Sunlights. I played with that group for 4 years before I went to Vietnam. After that, the group continued, and of course, after that, people started fading away, and the group finally broke up. But I served other groups. I played jazz, blues in a club called the Club 500 in Dallas. Then I also played with a soul group, and we played,
Soul music.
blues and soul music and rock, and also.
Okay.
And then I had my own group called the Shish Kebabs.
Oh my God.
The reason I call it Shish Kebabs because it was a mixture. I mean, we
Okay.
had blacks, we had whites, we had you name it.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
So music's important to you,
very.
and what's most important to you now is the idea of trying to get together a plan, a strategy,
Yeah,
call it,
or
to get a cemetery
Sure.
locally.
Mm-hmm.
And one political thing you did was to contact who?
Julia Brownlee, when
Brownlee,
she was running
who's
for
well
office.
known,
Yes.
well known,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I have a niece named Carla Castilla.
Mm-hmm.
She works for Hannah Beth Jackson. She's
Another well-known,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. She helps with the campaign. She's very bright. She was in Washington during the administration of Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
But I never brought these issues up. Now, I brought it up because I never thought about it until I went to a funeral in the new cemetery Miramar, San Diego.
Oh, San Diego.
And it touched my heart. It was a relative who passed away.
Passed away.
And the funeral was beautiful. The planes flying overhead,
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it, and my wife says, "Wouldn't you like that?" And I said, "Yeah, I would, but we don't have a cemetery in our area." And really, I thought about it, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to look into the statistics. We got 2 bases here, the Point Magoo and Port Hueneme, and also for the one in Vandenberg."
Edinburgh, right.
And I said, "Well, let me look into the statistics to find out how many veterans really deserve one."
Okay, one point. What has Brownlee told you so far? What's the deal
Well,
with her?
when she was running for office, I just mentioned it to her, and I told her, because I was told that she really supports the veterans, which she does.
Okay.
And I brought the issue, and I said, I'm interested in trying to get a cemetery in our Ventura County. And she says, well, what we have to do is you need to write it up, and present a petition, and I'll see what I can do for you. So my job right now is to try to gather.
Okay. When did you
This
make
was
this plan?
This was just a month ago.
Month ago.
The campaign.
So you have something formally already written up?
No, nothing
no,
formally.
nothing yet.
I still have to. I'm meeting with. I'm trying to remember his last name. Frank. I just met him. He's a advocate for the Alliance, Veterans Alliance,
Great.
and he told me how to do it, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get together, try to get a petition going, and he's going to try to help me take some steps and see if we can get the public involved and other veterans. I don't know how many veterans are really interested, and because it was not an issue until now.
Right. So do you think possibly you're going to try to have a community meeting and try to get as many veterans to show up?
I'm going to go to all the veterans
organizations.
and it's amazing. I've never joined one. Maybe because, like I told you, I was having trouble dealing with the issue of being a survivor, and I didn't want to hang out with veterans talking about it. It's just something I didn't want to hear. But now I've learned to cope with it,
Very good.
and so it doesn't bother me anymore. And I think now I'm going to get involved in trying to get all these people who are veterans to help me organize it and write it up. So we can write something up and get legislature involved, because I was noticing that most of them are funded by the government, but the ones in California are funded by the state. And so to get funds from the government, it's going to take some work.
You foresee it's going to be more difficult with the state than the national? Probably money-wise, maybe.
Money-wise, right now we're in a crisis, as you know. I mean, there's not much money, but to me, it's so important. I mean, look how many veterans have served and how many are still alive. I mean, I can see that half of us would be gone, but we're still a lot out there. And I think we all deserve something. I was so concerned. I mean, just our death benefit. Look how cheap it is. We only get $300.
If we die?
If I die, that's
my
it.
God,
So
$300.
that's not going to bury me, even if I die, bury in a regular cemetery. You
Might
know,
even not pay for the flowers.
right? That's right.
Jeez.
And you know, if we
Yeah.
can't get a cemetery, maybe the cemeteries that exist, maybe they can do a section for the
Right.
veterans.
Interesting.
But
interesting.
I mean,
So is that going to be another issue too that you
Yeah.
want the money? I mean, just the money.
the
thing.
money, sure, it's got to be funded first,
Right.
and of course approved. But it's the steps it's going to take.
So I would envision, maybe I'm sure you thought you're going to need some other key people to really
I'm
support
going to use
the
all my
idea.
connections that I can
Yeah.
get.
But I'm saying actually,
It takes
so-called
more- yeah.
top of the line guy.
Right.
or-
Yeah.
or
Well,
Brown
your
leads one.
Congresswoman, you know, she has pushed a lot of issues. Lois Capps is another one. She used to be ours from here. Now she's up north, but because it's still Santa Barbara, I'm going to make contact with her. She knows me. I've talked to her when Carla used to be her campaign
What is she
leader.
saying? Caps.
Well, I never discussed this
Oh,
issue.
not yet.
No, I was just helping her with other benefits that she was getting for the veterans at the time. So now she can help me. So
Pretty much liberal. She tend
Yes.
to on the liberal side.
yes, she is, but I'm sure she would support it very strongly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's
Yeah.
very strong in the veterans.
Yeah, that seems to be a bipartisan thing
Yeah,
anyway.
it is.
If it's legit,
Yeah.
which
But the
it
hardest
is.
part is going to be right now is that our party up there is going to be dominated by the Republicans, and they're the ones who don't
don't want
these
support.
programs. Sure. So it's going to be a hard fight.
Oh my God.
But I'd like to at least get it before I die.
Yes.
And if not, at least for other
I
veterans.
think, Rex, you're going to be around at least 20 more years. if
Well,
not
let's hope
longer,
so.
I think so.
Let's hope so.
Timetable. What's your timetable?
Uh,
By March.
I would say
What?
to get it petitioned, I would say I would say at least 6 months. Yeah, it's going to take at least that much time.
Mhm.
Yeah, unless these people move on it.
Mhm.
But I know that I think Julia Bromley will help me. I really have a lot of strong feelings that she will.
Possibly another group could help out. There should be a lot of veterans there. The Hermanos, they meet every Thursday at Casa Lopez in the morning.
Okay, I'm not aware of that
You
group.
might
but
want to go there.
That's a good. Thank you.
Yeah. The
That will
brothers,
help.
Los Hermanos. They're all older guys, and
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the
And
majority are
and
veterans.
as you know, that most veterans here are more Latinos.
yes,
Ventura
for
County.
Ventura County, right?
Yeah, because I used to work at the base at Port Hueneme,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of them from Santa Paula. Santa Paula is loaded with them, so I got to get my guys over there
Right.
to support me.
I can give you some connections. Or there's another gentleman, mental blank right now, from Santa Paula. Oh my God, he would kill me. But anyway, I'll connect you with another
Okay,
person.
I think
Santa
you
Paula.
mentioned his name, didn't
Yeah.
you, before? Too?
Yeah, Aguirre.
Yeah,
Aguirre,
Aguirre.
Aguirre.
Right.
Yeah,
And I think I
Mr.
have
Aguirre.
met him before.
Yeah,
So,
he would be a good connection. He's got the smarts and the connections and know-how. A lot of savvy.
Good,
I think
good,
he could
yeah.
help you.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He's a homie from Santa.
Right,
so-
he's got a lot of degrees. I
yeah,
understand.
PhD.
Yeah, well, that's what I need. People with knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Do you foresee a need for any kind of fundraising? For any the groundwork that you have
I
to
don't think fundraising would do it. I think more is the voice. Get people to contact Julia Brownlee, online, or send her request. That's what I'm saying. If we can get a petition going and get maybe something online where I can get a lot of people to just contact her and tell them they want to support that ballot once we get it going.
Yeah, I was thinking in terms of you probably would want to set up a committee, maybe.
Well,
4
I
or
will.
5
I will
people.
organize
And,
myself with that young man
Right.
Frank, with the alliance. I think we're going to have to set up a committee.
Yeah, and that's where the funding or money. I mean, it's not free to send
Correct.
things out.
Correct. That's true. Flyers.
and
It
then
takes money for flyers.
advertising.
Correct. Yeah, maybe fundraising
Getting
would
an
help.
artist to make a poster that's really,
Sure.
to the point.
I think my goddaughter, she's got a lot of connections now, so she's going to be able to help me a lot.
Okay, Darlene Miller.
Get the
We'll
word
see.
when I die, but there's other veterans who deserve it, and I
Right.
think now that's what I'm fighting for. So
Well, the battle is going to be set.
I,
I'm
I
sure
did
it's gonna be a
mention
battle.
I did mention there's only 147 cemeteries, U.S.
For veterans
for veterans,
throughout the nation.
and 130 of them, or 131, are funded by the or maintained by the government, and the other 14 are only by the state.
State.
Yeah.
And you're trying to go state. So, or at this
I would
time-
like government, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
but our state has to support it, or promote it.
Mhm.
Because California is pretty big, and we also have bases up north. But up north, we've got 2 more bases up there. We got one in Sacramento, and we have one in San Joaquin area, and what's the other one? San Bruno was very close. Those are the only 3.
So probably you need to. There's some other local politicians that got some pull. There's some Latino ones and whatever race
Yeah,
they
we've
are. But
got. Also, I'm going to talk to Das Williams. I helped support him during his campaign. He's young.
what's he? What is Das Williams? He's a
He's
position?
I think a legislator now, assemblyman.
Assemblyman. Oh,
Assemblyman.
okay. Oh, very good.
And there's a young man in Bakersfield who was a friend of my niece Carla, who is also an assemblyman up there. And these are the contacts that are Latinos that I can probably get to support me. I'm going to try to get all the contacts that I can get.
Right.
And my niece, I'm sorry, Carla Castilla, I'm going to get you involved. So you're going to be my contact
Beware,
person.
Carla.
Yeah, but she's a sweetheart. She's opened up my eyes. She supported me in a lot of things with my problems too. Every year she takes me out from Veterans Day to dinner or something, and she always wants me to go to some of the veterans ceremonies. It's hard for me, to be honest with you, Danny, because I'm so proud of it that when I hear the Star Spangled Banners, it just tears me up.
Grabs you.
Yeah.
Grabs you.
But I have to turn around and be strong. I have to
Oh, yeah.
change now. I mean,
Yes, you do.
it's something now that I have to conquer.
Reconstruct a few things.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
And I come from a proud family. My father was a World War II veteran. He was so proud. To him, carrying his VA card, I mean, he
It was
would
an
show
honor.
it. He would walk around. He died at 87, but he would walk around showing his VA card. He was so proud, And it's amazing, how people don't realize how a veteran feels. It's some. I had no kids, like I say, so I've got 13 medals and ribbons. To me, they don't mean anything anymore. But my niece Carla wants them, and she's going to get them. But
very good.
But what I'm trying to say is everything we've done and everything we fought for means a lot. And I think people need to realize, I think people who either have a son or a brother that served can understand it. But there's families who don't have anybody who are involved. And those are the ones that it's hard to get through to.
It is.
But I'm hoping that I can get all the people who really care to do something and help me.
Personalities and politics.
That's
you
right.
have to deal with all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Rex.
Appreciate it, Danny.
Good. This is truly a genuine cause that needs to be supported and pushed through and made successful. Ventura County would be great. One last thought. Any particular area where it seems like if it comes through, they're going to have to find some land?
Correct.
You have an idea where to have
No,
this
I
in?
don't. That's the other thing that the Alliance told me that we need to look into to find out what lands are might be possibly available. I had heard at one time, but I'm not sure. I need to get the facts, that there had been at one time, this issue had been brought up, and that they had land for it, but it never went through. So I'm going to look into that. I need to get back into some of the
someone
government.
I talked to, it came up between Saticoy and Santa Paula. There's a lot of farmland.
Yeah, there is.
And if there was a farm owner that
Well,
would
you know,
be
there's a lot of
helpful.
people here, like the McGraths, the Borchards, the Pettits. These are all the pioneers of Ventura County,
Right.
and they have land. It just takes someone to maybe donate it. But the problem is, because it's farmland, it's hard, I'm sure. But they own
Yeah.
properties, land somewhere else, and I think if we can come up with someone to help, someone who's maybe they have someone who was in the military
Mm-hmm.
and they might be interested. I'm going to be contacting some of them. I went to school, well, in Seaway.
Right.
One of the McGrath girls worked with me.
Hmm.
I'm not going to mention her name yet
Okay.
because I need to talk to her first.
Right.
But I might get her involved. You know,
Very
she's a part of the McGrath. So,
Okay.
like I say, right now I'm going to bring up all my contacts. You know how you know how politics works.
Right.
Okay,
Generally speaking.
that's right.
But you have to consolidate things. And
That's right.
Put
Put it all in one.
your best marbles here, your medium marbles here, and then but all
And the
act as
force.
one.
Put the force.
Okay, we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Thank
but
you.
Thank you, Rex.
Danny, it's a pleasure.
And I think it's time has come.
Thank you
Time
very
has
much.
come. I think there is land, and there's a purpose, a great purpose to be served, and
Thank
that's
you.
the key. You know, it'll be the selling point that there is a purpose, a great purpose, right?
Okay.
Positive all the way.
Yes.
So thank you, and hopefully you'll watch this show soon, my audience.
Thank
And,
you very much,
and that-
everybody.
You know, if you want to send some support from Rex, maybe write to this group here, the Heritage Center, and
I will
some
have
support
a
letters.
website later set up
right
so
there.
I can get people to support it through the website.
Right, outstanding.
Okay, so once I
Outstanding.
get that going, it's just a beginning right now, but it's the issues.
Right. Well, thank you, Rex, and
Danny,
thank you, audience.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay.